So it's December 2015, Miss Universe pageant, right? It was being televised live. Steve Harvey is the host, and there's Miss Colombia and Miss Philippines. They are the finalists, and the winner is, drumroll, Miss Colombia. So she's crowned, and then banquet of flowers. She's crying out of joy, but the celebration only lasts for 2 minutes. So Steve comes back to stage and says, "Okay, folks, I have to apologize. I made a mistake. The winner is Miss Philippines." So Steve mistakenly announced the wrong contestant. Such a terrible mistake. So everyone is upset, and it is at that moment of failure that became an answered prayer for Steve. He said, "I'd been praying for God to increase my global persona." And that's how God did it. The day of his mistake, he was trending worldwide, and then 2 billion people were Googling him. And then 64 countries, they headlined him through their newspapers. It's that moment of adversity that God answered his prayers. He was getting death threats. He was the internet joke of the day, and for a while, he suffered. But God had a blessing for him. It is through this blessing that Miss Colombia came to his talk show later on, and this became the most watched interview ever. So this boosted his ratings, and then T-Mobile called him and paid him millions to shoot a commercial after his failure. Are you facing a challenge and you hate yourself, you want to kill yourself? Don't. When strong wind comes, you're bigger than that one moment. So I'm not here to glorify hard times, but you can use your hard time to bounce back, or God can use it. When you judge anything in isolation, you're not gonna appreciate it. Life is like cooking. Let's say you're making your favorite pastry. Let's say something like chapati or mandazi. Raw ingredients don't taste good at all. Try tasting baking soda. And cook raw wheat. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Try serving that to anyone and they're not gonna like you very much. But if you mix the flour, oil, blend it just right, add water, eggs, sugar, salt, and then deep fry it, yummy, yummy mandazis. So why doesn't baking soda taste good? It's because you're judging it in isolation. And this is how God works in your life. He works all things together for your good. But if you take raw experiences individually, you'll end up asking God, where are you? I'm a good person and it's not paying off. I'm staying faithful. All bad things are coming to me. I don't have a job. Where are you when I need you? Judging things in isolation, God is working all things, not one thing, all things for your good. So there's a way out of your trouble. You fall 7 times and then you get up 8 times. Is that 8? So dark times don't last. Even though you're going through a financial crisis, don't judge it in isolation. God often works best when there is darkness. Starting from your birth. In your mother's womb, it was so dark, but you are developing. Ask any pregnant woman. She'll tell you that the faster the pain comes, the quicker the baby is about to be delivered. So maybe you've been through hell and high water. I want to remind you that God is working all things together for your good. So I'm a very pragmatic person. So you're probably asking yourself, what should I be doing when I'm going through hard times? Number 1, I think you should invest in yourself. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. And I don't care what problem you're going through. An investment you make in yourself will pay off 1,000 times. Listen to this from Warren Buffett. Before we all knew him, he was struggling. This is what he said, that I took a communication class that costed me $100 and it changed my life in a big way. Before that, he said I was a disaster. I couldn't speak in public, and the thought of speaking in public would make me physically ill. I needed to sell stock, so I needed to learn how to speak. But learning how to speak gave me a chance. So he solved his problem by investing in himself. So what am I saying? I'm saying invest in yourself because it will pay off 1,000 times for one. Hard times are really good times to invest in yourself. Guess what? More millionaires are made during the Depression. Why? Because the rich invest during crisis. In fact, the US economic crisis 2008-2009 made the rich richer. Why? Because when everybody else was pulling their money out of the stock market, they were buying. When everybody was selling, they were investing. So in hard times, consider investing in yourself. It's a principle that works in finances and in personal development. Number 2, have a symbol of where you're headed to. Buy something that becomes a symbol to where you're headed. Make a reminder, an inspiration. Build your belief that you're going to get there someday. It could be buying an expensive watch or a jacket. Buy something that makes you think of the future that you're praying for. And if this doesn't work for you, take a picture of where you're headed. Go to places where you want to go in future, and then take a picture and make a vision board. Why? Because if you can see it, it will become real. What you attract is what you behold. Dream so big that your dream is going to scare you. So big that you're only going to have to depend on God to make it to pass. You know, Habakkuk 2:2 says, make a vision and make it clear. Write the vision and make it clear. Make it understandable in another version. So the vision is for future times. It may seem that it's slow in coming, but if you're patient, it will not be delayed. That's the promise of the scripture. So have a symbol that keeps you focused on your intentions. Something tangible that will keep you motivated about your future. So here's the good news. Hard times, they don't last. So don't put a period where God has placed a comma in your story. You've been assigned this particular mountain so that you can show others how to move it. So don't just go through it, but grow through it. The wound that you're nursing today, that's where the light is going to enter. You know, diamonds are not diamonds without pressure. So pressure is good. So let me close by these words that God has an amazing way of turning your biggest mess into your greatest message. So don't trip. Count it all joy when you encounter trials of many kinds, because in the end you'll come out lacking nothing. I want to thank you today for joining me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't, and share this video with your friends so that they too can be blessed. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, thank you. Bye-bye.